So many of us love snapping pictures, here and there, the kids or nature.
Right.
Yet we never really feel like, oh, this was a great shot. How'd you become a professional photographer?
It's really kind of interesting. It happened probably about 5, 6 years ago, where my son was playing sports,
Mm-hmm.
and I scanned all my old family photos, and I think there was one shot of me ever even playing sports. And it was the old Kodak 135, the square image, and it was getting all browned out. It's like, that's it. And my son, baseball team, not going to be a professional baseball player, but had a opportunity to begin shooting high school sports. And you learn at the very beginning what is a good photo, what's not a good photo. And I made every bad mistake you did. I mean, I had the camera on auto settings. And a real professional photographer
Like most of us.
and he says, well, what's your ISO and what's your shutter speed? And I'm like, I don't know. And I said, oh, I better learn what I'm doing out here.
What makes a good or bad picture?
I think art is in the eye of the beholder. I think that I'm more critical of my work than anyone else. Obviously, you have to find focus, the lighting, the framing, the cropping, and what you're really hoping to do. If you're taking time lapse, shooting and the great classic image of the Golden Gate Bridge out in San Francisco, and you're up there and the lights are on the bridge and the cars are driving toward you and it's that blurred headlights and brake lights going fast. If you're just beginning to be a photographer and you're learning the craft, shoot for yourself. And if you love shooting monuments in DC, great, shoot the monuments, but figure out how to do it right. You don't need just tons of fancy, expensive equipment. But you do need a passion to go out there because you're going to be spending hours out there doing it. I learned very quickly that this was it's a labor of love.
Sure, yeah.
To be able to do that because it's a lot of
to be.
time. It's a lot of time to be able to do that.
Is there an objective, gold standard, or is it just in the eye of the beholder?
It's really interesting. It's a great question. It all comes down to personal preference.
Okay.
Because at the very end, you're the artist, you're the one who's taking the picture, and it's got to pass your test, or else it's going to still be on the Lightroom, box, and it's not going to get published. You have to take the picture for you, or if what the client wants. I mean, there's been many shoots that I go on, and it's very specific. I need it, this pixels. I need it this, and
They get that specific.
They do. If they're publishing it to their website. For many stuff, you want to capture the action, and I think that. The subjective parts are, the framing, the cropping.
My strategy is usually, and I think many people also, is like go for a detail that's closer to me and then hope that the background kind of looks okay, because it seems like a pitfall is if you try to go too big, too broad.
Right.
If you were to try to do something larger here, do you think this would be good to zoom in here and then let the rest speak for itself, or would you try to go broad?
When you look at this, it's what captures your eye. Maybe there's an insect, maybe there's a bee, maybe there's something fluttering. You just really kind of, you have to be very aware of your surroundings, especially in nature. So I'm going to just try and do a little, very higher shutter speed here, and we'll be able to see the difference in the three shutter.
All with the same composition? Oh.
Same composition,
Okay.
but we'll see the difference in the depth of field. And again, it gets back to your editorial decision of do I find something back there really kind of interesting?
When it comes to photography and you think dream jobs, we tend to focus on the dream, which is you get to be places like this, you get to be in special moments. And there's the job part. One, I would think the hours are not always 9 to 5, and two, figuring out how to charge people, how to get business.
It is interesting that they can be very unconventional hours. I had a surprise wedding proposal. Had to be 10 o'clock at the Lincoln Memorial at night. That's how he had, because he was going out to dinner and he had it all planned out, and so I'm there at 9:30 at night for a wedding proposal. Great. It was phenomenal. She was blown away, and we were able to capture those images, and they will have that for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And when you talk about why you take pictures, I think that's the greatest thing, because they've got something now, that they will have the rest of their life. And everybody talks about, what do they want to be remembered for?
Mm-hmm.
And, I love the fact that I'm able to help create images for people that they will have with them, maybe for the rest of their life. And I'm doing something that I truly enjoy.